Welcome, agents, to Strain 40-ACL of the 0 Point Report, a broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, and I'm your host for this evening, Ocho. With me tonight, we have Two-Ton Waffle.
Howdy.
How are Well, howdy, partner. And we have Jimmy the Rabbit.
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys doing this fine Thursday evening?
Doing all right.
I'm working on doing better.
That's good. That's what I want to hear. Like, I'm surviving. I'm living.
What I really wanted was just like a big bowl of frozen margarita and just like shove my face in it. Although I did think maybe it would sting the eyes a little bit, but it just sounded really refreshing.
Yeah.
Just face plant into a bowl of margarita.
Oh, what was the Last Man on Earth? The beginning episode.
Yes.
In the kiddie pool
the
of the
pool,
margarita.
The kiddie pool. Legend. Man is my hero. You also have like the super long straw.
Yeah. So you can just sit there and a straw is like right there.
It's just walking like 6 feet of straw, just laying in what he's drinking. Oh, man. If I could recreate that, I would.
You're like, it might take a bit. Might get the
like if we had like a
might get the mix a little off, but still.
If we had like a warmer Halloween or something, like I just plant myself in the front yard, that could be my Halloween costume. That'd be freaking hilarious.
Like,
and amazing.
Yeah. What's your Halloween costume? I am a man in a kiddie pool of margarita.
Well, it's been done. I could just be the last man on Earth guy, but I mean, I just couldn't go anywhere, right? That's what I'm saying. I have to like
yeah.
plan. And unfortunately, like while that would have worked in California, in Pennsylvania, it's unlikely to be warm enough to do that.
No, not at Halloween.
Well, you
it's
can
usually like right as Halloween hits, it's like, oh, yesterday was like 70. Today will now be 50.
Yeah, no, I grew up on this latitude and longitude, whichever. But
I mean, technically both, right? It takes both to make the position. It takes two to tango.
But Pennsylvania is relatively of the same, and Halloween is a very weird day. We've had major hurricanes pass through on Halloween. We've had snowstorms on Halloween. We've had, you don't know. You don't know. You just don't know.
Halloween out here is like, oh, you had plans?
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty. In my experience, that is pretty normal. In fact, I think at least 2 or 3 so far it's rained. Like, it's like, oh, you wanted to do something. It's raining. Mm-hmm. In fact, even when they moved Halloween. You remember
this? They usually do.
You remember it was like last year, the year, but they hadn't done it in a while, and people were all pissed off about it. But I think there was like a snowstorm or something.
Yeah.
And they moved it to the Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I think it still rained on the Saturday or something. It's like, no, you can't get away. You can't get away.
Be like, you thought you could reschedule, but no. Yeah, no, around here, it's always like, it starts coming up and people are like, is anyone doing things like on the Saturday before? Like, if the Saturday beforehand is okay, they'll just be like, we'll just do it then. Weather looks good. We'll do it tomorrow. It's fine. Because you never know what it's going to be on actual Halloween.
No, down here it's always like 80 degrees and humid.
Well, yeah.
Zen calling you out. At least you're consistent. Right?
I mean, what else would you do if I did actually claim these rewards?
Claim rewards? It wouldn't be waffle.
No.
He would not be as heavy of a waffle as he is. It's his inventory that is actually weighing him down.
Well, okay. That doesn't work because it's not in his inventory until he claims the damn thing.
Well. True.
You need to work on your.
It's a possibility of it being claimed. It weighs me down.
A mental weighing down.
Really deep.
So agents. So we don't have a whole bunch of news to bring you this week. We got a couple interesting things, but nothing monumental. But
we're
who knows?
basically on the countdown clock for the anniversary, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So because that should be starting in...
Should be in June?
June, yeah.
Now, it was interesting, by the way, as we were talking about this, I think on the Discord or something. Or maybe it was on my stream. He was on my stream. I went to look it up. Because last year started way late in June. Like... It was barely June and mostly July. But I think the 2 years prior were the opposite. It was June and barely in July at all. So I don't know if it's going to be like middle of June, end of June.
Last year, because I do try to keep these records. Last year it started on June 25th.
Right, 25th.
The 25th, which is pretty dang late.
Right, but the year before was like
June 18th.
But
so a week before.
But it went into July like 2nd or something.
Yeah. It didn't. If it's 2 weeks, generally it wouldn't go. I guess
the reason I knew that it was had started early in June and was barely in July is because I like to call my Icy Claws event Christmas in July.
Okay.
People were giving me shit about it because like there was like one day of the event that was in July. And I was like, screw you, I don't care. I like the sound of it. Like technically
they call it Christmas in July. It's a thing. Yeah. It's a name.
It's a thing. It's a known nomenclature.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to use it and it's technically accurate. Piss off. So I knew that it had started much earlier in June in the past, but yeah, last year it started hella late.
Yeah. And it generally runs about what, like 14 days would have put it to like the 2 years ago would have put it to the 2nd of July.
One of the years it ran way longer. You might not have the extension in your notes potentially.
No, I just have the starting dates.
Yeah, so one of the years, maybe even not last year but the year before, they screwed up the rewards. They allotted, you remember this, right? All the rewards fit exactly the days. They had no bonus at all.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They kicked it out another week. We had like a 3-week anniversary. Because they forgot to put in any padding whatsoever. Is that the event that gives you boon? As far as I know, no event gives you boons. Then.
Yeah, no, boon comes from well,
okay, sorry. No. Like Christmas, anniversary, etc. event is going to grant you boon. Boon comes from community stuff.
So if they do community stuff, you'll probably get it.
Which we should be doing community stuff. I'm on the Discord actually for what is that one? The Megaversary.
Megaversary 3.
But that's all community driven.
No, it's Megaversary 4, by the way.
Oh, 4. Okay.
It's Megaversary 4. Hollow Point's already been working on
okay, no, that's right. I'm looking at 2020 and 2020 June was the 3-year anniversary. This will be the 4-year anniversary.
Yeah, Megaversary 4. So if you're looking to get boon, anniversary is a good time, but it won't come directly from the Funcom like daily login stuff. It would come from an award from one of the community events.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they use it for. A lot of people talk about, I think, for tanks like boon, but I'm pretty sure he's actually like a direct copy of another another character's stats.
I'm looking into last year's dates, and yeah, last year it ended July 16th.
Geronimo. Maybe.
The anniversary started the 25th and ended July 16th. Do I have it for all the other years? It's like my more fine-tuned notes. I might have it in there. In 2019, it started June 18th and went until July 9th. Or July 10th.
Yeah. Geronimo is the exact same stats as Jack Boone. So, I mean, having Boone lets you stack 2 of them, I suppose, if you really wanted to. But, yeah, Geronimo is the same stats as Boone. Do you have both? I'm actually want to look on my tank build and see what I have. Let me see. Would it interest you to know that I'm not running Boone at all in my build?
Shocked.
Like, now, granted, I'm running a different one that I think is a community one. I'm running the duo. I'm running Christina
yes, that is
Del
also
Rio,
community.
the duo, and J.S. Suresh. The reason being, the Jack Boone gives you like 2,000 protection and so a little extra health. But protection, from what I remember, like the stat like doesn't like great. You have 2,000 more protection. It's not. There's diminishing return. You already have a shit ton if you're running like 3. Oh, I got like, is it defense stalwart? Stalwart glyphs, maybe. I know protection. Sorry, protection is just from your allocation. Yeah, you're at 100% allocation already. You have a shit ton of protection. Like, whereas the duo,
you don't really need more, right?
Yeah, the duo. What does the duo give you? The duo gives you evade and defense rating. And evade's really hard to come by. The duo gives you a plus evade. Christina Del Rio gives you. That's another one. I think that's. Let me see. It gives you evade, and then I'm running Suresh, which gives you defense. Yeah, so I'm running. Gives you protection as well, but yeah, my agents are pretty different. I can't imagine running. It's like 4,000 extra protection. I don't think it does it. I mean, it does something, but I think you're approaching diminishing return. I mean, I'm up for being wrong on that for sure. But I've soloed a bunch of dumb shit with this kind of gear and agents. The duo for sure. The duo, which again, that's a community one, so that's harder to come by. But the duo one, and I think Del Rio is the other evade one. That straight up helped make my soloing E1 New York raid possible. Protection's not going to, I think, help you there nearly as much. Straight up evading something means it doesn't hit you at all.
At all, yeah.
Right.
The difference there is that whether you're hit or not, or whether you just reduce the amount that you take.
Yeah, so there's a massive difference in that. And granted, it's more RNG, and historically, I personally fucking hate evade shit just because you can get that shit up to 99%. I mean, I actually don't think you can, but even if you could, it doesn't matter because the one time it doesn't work, you die. And you're like, well, it's not reliable, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I already have enough of everything else that I benefit more from the occasional boost of just not taking a hit than mitigating more hits, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's I think the tanking meta is pretty open right now, honestly. There's a lot of, it's not like the sustain tank meta where there like really was one. Sustain tank, there was one. People would run Chaos Hammer instead of Hammer Chaos, but it was worse. Like, it was objectively worse. It was doable, but 100% people just ran it because they liked it and wanted to play Chaos instead of Hammer. It was objectively not as good. Whereas now there's like all kinds of shit you can do as tank since the rebalance. There's way different options, way different ways of playing tank. Also depends on what your healer's playing, right? What style of healer you have will also, because you can have a bad matchup. You can have one style tank and one style healer that just don't mix. That is certainly possible. Just because the spikiness of how one deals with damage versus how one heals damage, like you can put the wrong two together and you can end up like with tanks that can't stay alive, and healers that can't heal them, right? Like
someone who's healing like small ticks at a time, just more consistently. But yeah, the tank is taking
the burst isn't there.
Yeah,
like when you also have things.
It.
You also have things like if someone's healing with AR, there's like certain fights that are trickier. If you're not able to hit something, for example, then you're not healing. You need a target, which can be tricky, especially if it's like, say, Machine Tyrant and he's shielded. What the fuck do you do? Right? I can't shoot the Machine Tyrant to proc heals on you, so you have to deal with those situations differently. But yeah, I don't think the high-end meta has ever been more open than it is right now, which is actually really, really good. That's a good sign that the rebalance worked. In most ways, is that both the DPS and the tank healer, like all the roles, have lots of options that are functionally super similar.
Well, they spend a lot of time trying to get the balance right.
Yeah. I mean, and even so, I think there's some that probably edge out others as far as like if you just looked at raw numbers and said, this is technically better. Most of the time, it doesn't actually matter though. Hey, Vollmer.
Hey, Vollmer.
What's up, Vollmer?
Like, they're not different enough. And again, like the group comp makes a big difference, right? Like, your DPS can handle purges in the higher stuff, or the healer can handle the purges, or the tank can handle the purges, and like, so like, that shared responsibility, depending on their group makeup, can like shift around a bit. And there's not like a necessarily this is what you need to do. I think there's some this is what you shouldn't do stuff. I think that's clearer. But as far as like stuff you can do, like I know I've talked with some people about shotgun tanking, and like I know shotgun tanking is beneficial for the raid for very specific like heal aggro reasons. I don't like shotgun.
Yes.
At all. I'm making a shotgun. I'm nearly done with a shotgun tank build for the raid. Because it's that much, I think, better for the raid. It just is. Right? Like for that specific encounter, and that's something that we do like once a week, it's worth it because I want to try tanking it. I'm not going to try taking it in my hammer build. It's going to cause all kinds of issues. The shotgun one is better. But I'll dungeons, my hammer build. Like I'm not fucking touching shotgun unless I have to. Right? Whereas other people are like, oh, shotgun, benefit X, Y, Z, and it's like, well, all you're telling me is you don't know how to play melee, which tells me you probably. I don't know. This is gonna kind of come across bad, but it tells me you don't know how to play tank either. In my opinion, you need to know how to play melee
because tanks are usually up front and right there.
Well, you need to know, like, exactly. You are essentially, and the thing with the shotgun tanks is they can get some distance and do things from distance.
Yeah,
but that doesn't
tanks
mean
are
you
generally
should be.
Yeah, not range.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you should be, because you control the positioning of the boss, right? And it's hard to do that from a range. You need to be able to move him where you need to move him, and also if you have melee DPS, if you don't know how meleeing the boss works. You're like, well, I can just do this, and then you kill your melee DPS, right? Because you don't understand the best place to put him because you've not meleeed. Like that's a problem. It's not a problem really in like the lower end dungeons or anything, but as you get up in the tiers, I think it certainly can be. I have seen it be. I've gone into dungeons where someone said, "Don't melee this boss," and I was like, "You go to hell."
Yeah, what? What did you say?
You can't tell me what not to do.
Like I'm in a melee build. What if I didn't have anything else? Like you can't tell someone like, don't do this. Shotgun works okay for the braless girls who like to flap away. I don't know what that sentence means, but it's amazing. I legit don't know what that means, but I like braless girls that flap away. Like I
assume he's referring to the succubus.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
I think you're right. That's weird as shit. Like I could not parse that, but that's fucking hilarious. No, look, I've had an in-depth discussion with some shotgun tanks, or really a shotgun tank, about the benefits of the range stuff. But I submit that means you don't know how to do it melee, because you totally can control the position of the braless girls who flap away, which is now what I will name them from this point forward. You totally can control them as melee if you know how to do it. And again, this is where I'm saying, like, I have a little bit of an issue with the fact that people just don't bother to learn things and just do it some way because it works.
Is it sort of like the advantage is not that you can get more out of range or the more that you can move away from the boss, but more so that if anything starts running away from you, you can sort of coax them back to your position? Is that like
I guess, but
like
you can do that as a melee as well. You just run a taunt, gadget, or a lulsion.
Right.
Like you just run something that lets you grab them from range. Just because you're like hammer main, you're also going to be chaos offhand, like basically no matter what. Pretty much everything that's chaos offhand except chaos main. And even chaos main wishes it had chaos offhand. Like double chaos.
All the chaos.
Like, yeah, chaos is pretty much unparalleled for offhand currently. Mainly because of dark mysteries, because the weapons that have passives on them, like the chaos one has all the right stuff. Did he spend like it was an hour on HR5 one to flap into shield, etc., or zappity cleave? Well, zappity cleave is positioning, and flap into the shield. Yeah, that's people not knowing how to control positioning. Although I think the hour that you're talking about, that was a pug group, and a lot of that was also people just shooting shields, which is
not what you're supposed to do.
That's pug groups for you. I see a yellow shield. Let me shoot him. Die.
That won't reflect back. No.
But yeah, like you, as the tank, as far as like there's positioning things, like the succubus likes to move away from you, right? So like you can control where she's going to go as melee without touching her. Just by positioning yourself in the right spot, you can sort of imagine there's like a restraining order between the two of you. Right? like there's a 6-foot stick. She's going to move. So you can preemptively put yourself in a position to move, kind of get her to move where you want her to go. But that, again, that's just she likes to socially distance. Yeah, she's responsible.
Well, she's perfect, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's not wearing a mask, but she's not wearing a bra either. So but she
still,
likes to maintain a distance.
You'll be okay. Yeah.
She's not the only one. There's actually plenty of creatures in the game that like to do dumb shit, like run 10 feet away to cast something at you.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the one?
Pretty much every game, I think, actually has a couple.
Have you seen, like, in scenarios where the Drog will sometimes like moonwalk away? And when they moonwalk away, they moonwalk far. Like something's broken. They'll go like 20 fucking feet away from you in order to cast something at you. And you're like, what the hell is that guy doing? Because normally,
no, I've never seen that. I'm sorry.
No, really? All the time. Mansion, Seek and Preserve. The Drog.
I've done it enough. I don't think I've ever seen. I've never seen that.
Yeah, like you get the pairs, like the two with like the club fist or whatever. And like one will run towards you, and one will just fucking start floating backwards, like really fucking far away towards the fence to like cast something at you. Broken as fuck, and I've seen it like way more than like a couple of times. I've seen it like significant amount of times. In fact, I probably haven't noticed because you didn't know he was there.
Maybe,
probably
yeah.
Came the second wave, and you're like, "What's weird?"
Yeah, maybe like all of a sudden he appeared out of nowhere, and I'm like, "What's that guy doing there?"
Well, because like there's the other thing that happens in Mansion where someone just gets stuck against a rock, and they don't leave their spawn area for like 10 minutes or something, and then they come randomly with one of the other waves. Like it happens with the saboteurs sometimes. You're like, "Where's the saboteur guy? I haven't gotten a mine in like 4 minutes." And it's because he's stuck at the entrance, like on a rock. Like that shit happens. But yeah, the running away to cap, and especially the Drog backpedaling, I've seen a ton of times. It's super weird. But that's essentially what the succubus does, right? She'll on her aggro target, she'll be like, "Oh, let me back up and range cast at you."
Yeah.
Because for some reason you can't range cast from melee, which doesn't make any sense at all, like to me. How does that matter?
Well, it's probably like they have where you can't melee, you have to be a certain range from target. So I guess they're in their coding, they have to have some distance.
I need to be 6 feet away to cast this 6 feet away cast or something. Hold on, I gotta kill a goddamn centipede. It's that time of year again. Even though it snowed, by the way, fucking yesterday. That happened for you, Mikey?
No. The only time that we had centipedes was
no, not centipedes. The snow.
Snow. No, we didn't get any snow.
No, I had snow yesterday. Kid had to wear a snow jacket for his first day back to school in person. It snowed yesterday. It was like 80 the day before.
No, but you get a lot. You get a lot more snow than we do normally. Like there's been many times when it's just like I remember it was one year when I was like, we haven't gotten like any snow this season, and you were like, what are you talking about? Like you had been buried.
We haven't got any snow either.
Walmer said it snowed here in New York. Yeah, it snowed today too. My kid was like, yeah, recess, it started snowing again. Now, granted,
if you have snow waffle, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Granted, it was super light. But there was a little snow today. But yesterday, like in the morning, it coated everything. Like we had snow. I was like, what the shit is going on? It was like, and I think even this morning was like 30 degrees or something.
Yeah, if we're getting snow, then that means you guys are getting glaciers.
That means we're like this.
Yeah, say that. That means
Yeah.
Officially an ice cube.
No, I'm trying to think. No, I think our weather was just mild yesterday. Today we had we had the big storm rolled through yesterday. We just had a big just thunderstorm roll through yesterday. That's what it was.
That was a snowstorm for us.
Yeah. No, it just was a thunderstorm, and then it brought in a much colder air.
Yeah.
But and then tonight we're in like almost a freeze warning tonight.
And I'm not that far from Mike either, but we are like a weird little pocket. So
you're on the other side of Philadelphia.
I'm in the southwest corner of PA.
Yeah. So by other side of Philadelphia, I mean like the far other side of Pennsylvania.
Well, Philly is like the northeast of
over there.
Like it's literally like you could like a diagonal line across Pennsylvania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I think pretty much from where Philly is to where I am.
Okay. But with Philly, like I'm right on the other side of Philadelphia. Yeah. And so Philadelphia itself sort of acts like almost like its own mountain range. Like it acts basically like a whole heat source. And so storms tend to act really weird as they come around Philly. So
we're just south of Pittsburgh.
We do get protected a lot, yeah.
Maybe Pittsburgh messes with us or something. The city, I mean.
Yeah.
We're a suburb of that, so
because if you think about it, it's a lot of tall buildings, but B, it's basically a whole bunch of concrete, and so that heats up. That gets much warmer, and so it's actually just much warmer than a natural surrounding area. And heat, absolutely, the air, heated air will absolutely affect weather.
Sure,
weather patterns. So, no, I find that sometimes, quite often, where it's like you're seeing things get like hit hard, and then it's like, well, where was it for us? It's like, oh, it just decided to hit Philadelphia and then buffer away from us.
Dude, when I lived in California, and granted we were in the high desert area, which high elevation, but there was one time we had when I say snowstorm, I want to be clear, a fucking blizzard in July in California. It was like literally snowballs in hell.
Yeah, you're like, what is going on? Yeah.
Like, it didn't make any sense at all. And it shut down the whole city for like 3 days.
Oof.
Because they can't handle winter weather in the winter. Never mind in the
summer. That's what happened. That's what will happen if ever Waffle gets any appreciable snow.
Hey, when it rains, people forget how to drive as well.
Yeah, just wait until you have snow.
That's why California as well, which doesn't make any sense because it has the same monsoons every year, but it's like that 9 months of no water and everyone forget it exists.
Yeah, so
then water falls from the sky.
Oh, what the hell's going on?
What's happening?
I was leaving Vegas, heading back because Vegas was only like, depending on the speed you were traveling, like maybe like 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. We could get there pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Maybe and Nevada roads are pretty damn fast. Yeah.
Like we're leaving Vegas like on a Sunday, and like literal drops hit my windshield. I wouldn't even call it like rain. Like moisture hit the windshield, and we went from like the whole freeway went from like 90 to like 40. I was like, are you fucking serious? What the fuck is going on? You guys, it rains literally every year. Like, granted, only in like chunks, right? You have like super long.
You have periods. You have periods, but it happens.
But the desert gets a shit ton of rain in like massive chunks, and then nothing. Right? That's how it works.
I think the last time we went out to Vegas,
I don't understand that shit.
The last time we went out, it was like one of those storms had just passed through, and so we got there, and it's just like we went with new friends, or went with friends that had never been there before, and we were just like, oh, it's a dry heat, like where we're from, it's a very moist heat.
Oh, was it humid for you?
but it was stupid humid because that storm had just passed through, so it was like 110 and humid, and we're like, okay, no, this is awful, this is terrible.
Like just to give you an idea,
we couldn't escape the humidity.
Where I lived in the desert, sometimes you would literally look out and you would see a gray pillar and you'd be like, oh, it's raining right there. Mm-hmm. like off in the distance. And one time, I was unlucky enough to drive through one of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit like driving through a brick of the ocean.
Yes.
Like, I literally drove in and then could not see anything.
Oh yeah, we get those here too.
Like, my wipers are going like this, and I might as well just have the car underwater. Like, it is constant sheeting. Like, I literally, I'm not shitting you, could not see in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew the road was straight, and I just kind of kept going and punched out the other side.
You're like, hopefully people got their lights on. That's real, yeah.
Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. Anyone else was in there, we would have collided. Like, no question. When I say I couldn't see out, I mean I could not see out. Like, at all. I was literally driving blind, just kind of like, I don't really want to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure where I'm stopping either.
Yeah, you're like, I could just be stopping right in the middle of the freeway, and then the person behind you who can't see is going to hit you.
Yeah, so you just, the best thing is you just maintain. You just maintain, keep the wheel straight, and eventually punch out the other side and go like, holy shit.
We made it.
I just drove through a block carved out of ocean. Like, what the hell was that?
What game had that?
Yeah, it's man, that shit was nuts. I've seen them in the distance a bunch of times. I've only been unlucky enough to drive through one like once, and it literally was as if my car was just underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no other way to explain that. I was just like, holy fuck, I can't see anything. I don't know where anything is. This is what a submarine feels like.
Yeah. Oh.
But my car doesn't have sonar, so I was kind of like...
I think that's we had that. We sort of, well, no, that's actually a different story, but it's sort of similar. We had that once in, my wife and I, we went down to Disney World for our for our honeymoon. Like, we started off at Disney World, and we were waiting on one of the rides, and it was brand new. And we had already been in the line for like an hour and a half or something like that. And so we were getting close to the front, and all of a sudden they were just like, nope, everyone out, get out. And they just started just directing the line, like, just right out at an emergency exit, because something like we think what happened is probably the ride had been struck by lightning or something to that effect, because when we went in, it was clear sky. Everything fine. When they were pushing us out, they were like, everyone out. It was a typhoon was going on. It was just a massive downpour and stuff going everywhere. And I remember we just ran for the exit. And like, by the time we got to the exit, it was already done. But we were just so soaked. I think I lost a cell phone in that. Like, the one bag that I had my cell phone at the time, and that was still back when flip phones were a thing. And it was like, I opened up my bag and it was in like 3 inches of water in the bag itself, just destroyed. And I was like, oh well, we'll get new phones when we get back. Yeah, I think we went back to the hotel, we dried off, and then we're just like, okay, well, now everything's fine again. Let's just go out. Like, the sky cleared up again. It was like, that's weird. Just a cell phone destroying storm just decided to pass through. Sure, it happens.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
So we do have some news to discuss tonight.
Other than weather.
Other than weather.
It's stormy.
Little bit. Two things. The first thing was that we did have a developer stream for Conan Exiles that had Andy, Nicole, and they were joined by lead designer of Conan Exiles, Dennis Douthett, and environmental artist Bruno. I'm going to mess up this name. Guedes? I'm going to go with Guedes. Could be wrong on that. But they were talking about patch 2.4 for the new Isle of Sipta, which is still in beta. Early access. It's still in early access. But as you mentioned before, if there's actually one company that does seem to do early access correctly, and I'm going to use that in quotations, but if there is anyone that actually would be using using it the way it's sort of intended to be used. It has been Funcom. But Isle of Sipta is still under early access, but they've expanded it to its southern regions. They added 3 new biomes. They've improved lighting and added a new religion, Zath the Spider God, which I think that's actually kind of fun. I'm down for that. But they had a big dev stream for that. What was that? I don't know the exact date. Was that yesterday? That was Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Don't ask me about days.
Today is Thursday.
What is it?
But I'm pretty sure. I want to say that was yesterday.
Thursday. What is it?
Thursday. It's a Thursday.
I don't know what this word
based off
means.
of the god Thor. Thor's Day. So we had a nice dev stream with Andy and Nicole. Always good to see those two. Even if they're not talking about Secret World, still always good to see those two.
The duo.
The duo, right? We're talking about the duo before. That is the duo. But the other piece of news that we had is one that is, again, tangential. But in an interesting way, is that the MMO that Amazon was coming out with, the Lord of the Rings MMO, has now been canceled by Amazon. And what makes that interesting is who is in charge of that. So from the article, when Bloomberg was discussing it, they said the game had been in development at Amazon Game Studios alongside the China-based Leiyu Technologies Holding Limited, which was purchased by conglomerate Tencent Holdings Limited in December. So it's basically around the same time. I want to say that was that December? I don't know. It took a long time, but Funcom was also bought up by Tencent. So Tencent basically bought Leiyu as well in December, and it said the resulting contract negotiations led to a dispute between Amazon and Tencent that eventually caused the game's cancellation. Said people familiar with the matter who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak publicly about the issue. So no more Lord of the Rings MMO from Amazon. And why that's sort of sad, though, is that our favorite Scrivenomancer, Joshua Deitch, who is the lead writer for the Lord of the Rings Amazon MMO, guess he's no longer lead writer for that MMO. Anyway, so I reached out.
Some amazing work on this game.
Yeah, that's right.
In case anyone wasn't following that.
Just as anyone doesn't know, yeah, Scrivenomancer has done excellent work for Secret World. But he's more almost freelance, especially when he was doing the bestiary. He did almost all the bestiary. Tokyo, almost all of Tokyo is Scriv. But yeah, so he was brought on as lead writer for the new Amazon MMO, Lord of the Rings MMO. And so I contacted him and I was like, hey, sorry to hear it. That sucks. And he told me, he said that the company is still happy with the creative team and will be working on new stuff. So everyone's job at least is secure. So he's still doing okay. Just no longer working on that project for the time being, but they'll have him working on some new stuff. So as to what that is yet, I'm not even sure he knew what that at that point yet. But I also saw
people there know exactly what they want to do either.
Yeah, no. But I also saw that Massively OP was reporting that Amazon is working on a new unnamed sci-fi MMO, according to a position posting they had for a narrative designer. And they said that it's working on an MMO that isn't New World, stating that the senior level designer position likewise refers to a brand new world for an unannounced massively multiplayer game. So I'm not exactly putting 2 and 2 together here, but Amazon's working on a new sci-fi MMO. Our favorite Scrivenomancer is still saying that he's okay there, that everyone's job is at least secure and on this creative team. So it is quite possible we'd see him maybe working on this new project. We don't know.
Elves in space.
Was my math wrong? I said 7 3/4. We're putting 2 and 2 together, right?
5.5. So I'm a big Star Trek fan, and speaking of elves in space, that's what someone recently I heard refer to like the Romulans as. They're like, oh, those are the space elves. Like,
I mean,
I'm not sure they're wrong. Yeah, be like that's pointy ears. Yeah.
Right,
like, I could see it.
Like Spock.
He could be. They're just more logical space elves. Yeah.
But
they're
I mean,
logical.
Don't Vulcans and Romulans have like a same
heritage? Yeah.
Intertwined his hair. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's been a little while, but I didn't think I was that far off. But yeah, look at the Spock shit, and then look at Agent Smith, fucking elf from Lord of the Rings, and don't tell me it's not the same shit. Same shit. We're unfeeling like immortal assholes.
We're immortal beings high on ourselves, and Vulcans are known to be like hyper logical, and so have a sort of haughtiness and highness about them. It's like it's not. They're not wrong.
Yeah, it's elves in space.
Space elves.
Hey, did that make it echo for anyone else or just me?
Just
a little bit.
Space.
There you go. That was better. So yeah, those are basically the only real 2 points of news that we had was that we had a nice dev stream, and seeing of course our 2 favorite community managers, and also that Scrivs, the game that Scrivenomancer was working on, had been canceled.
I also want to add, it's not in the notes. This is Conan Chop. Still no news.
Nope.
We have news on Conan Chop. The news is there is still
still nothing.
And we're getting close to the halfway mark.
I look periodically. I do look periodically. I'm like anything, like any small update, because we don't get the financial reports anymore.
Nope.
Right.
We used to get quarterly financial reports, and in the financial reports, they'd be like, well, this is doing good, and that's doing good, and blah, 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 and we blah, 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 blah. Which is what we do. I mean, let's
very good, Jordan.
Peas and carrots. But we don't have those anymore because they had to put them out as a public company, but they're private now under Tencent, and so they don't actually have to report to anyone but Tencent.
Which is a shame.
It is a bit of a shame, even though they're I guess their advertising team kind of really hated those because it's almost like we got more news from the reports most times. Well,
to be fair, that's because their advertising
that's because their advertising kept dropping the ball. Yeah.
And they still suck.
And I don't necessarily blame them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be clear. I don't they very well could be handcuffed.
No, I'm almost certainly they are.
A radiator in the bottom of someone's basement.
Yeah.
That's entirely possible. So it may not be their fault, but the end product, the end result has always been fucking awful.
Yeah. It's like if you have to get the news from the financial report.
Yeah. Their
it was
advertising marketing has always been their weakest point as a company. As a company as a whole, not just Secret World or anything like that. As a company as a whole, that's always been their biggest, I think, weakness. They've improved it a bit. Exiles got some, I think, decent stuff going.
Exiles, yeah, it has some. It's
even
got it.
Year
It's got
Zero, I thought they did a decent push for.
Mm-hmm.
Moons of Madness had a surprisingly decent push.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that more like in other places. I mean, I think they did more like overseas stuff, like Europe stuff.
But that almost makes sense because
But
I mean,
Europe
Funcom itself
company,
was
like, that makes sense. Like, but that was still visible. Like you could find it, you could see it. Like it came up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to go like really hunting for it. Like it would just show up and be like, oh wow, that's cool. You know?
Yeah, because they really didn't do any when cons were still going on. They didn't really do many U.S. based. It was mostly European.
Yeah, they did.
They did a PAX. Didn't they?
Didn't they do like a? Did they do a TwitchCon?
No,
it was TwitchCon, right?
They did do TwitchCon. Yes, that's where we got the Moons of Madness shirt that we gave out on stream. Yeah, because Squirrelpool was there, and he like hit me up while he was there. I'm here. So, fuck you. I'm talking to Andy right now. Fuck you.
What was it? E3 or the Game Awards show?
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
I'm not saying we didn't start trying to get a little bit better, and certainly COVID is.
COVID helped nobody. Yeah,
not helped anybody in the marketing regard. Because I mean, getting out there and pressing the flesh is not a good idea in a pandemic.
No.
But you know, just in general, like I remember back when you know the Secret World and all the DLCs were comic book issues, which by the way, fucking inspired idea.
Great idea. Fantastic.
Idea that didn't fucking advertise in comic books. Do you know how cheap that shit is? Like, why?
Hey, you know what? City of Heroes did.
Yeah, but you literally have fucking DLCs that have comic covers for them. Like, that's not a like big leap. Like, that's not a movement at all. It's like it's like a shift. Like maybe like you sort of lean forwards and go, oh yeah, this makes sense, and you should fucking be advertising. Because I guarantee you, as someone that ran a fucking comic book store, that half the goddamn people that bought shit would have seen that and been like, whoa, that looks cool.
Wait a minute, a game where we can basically play as more modern superheroes?
Comic book character shit? Like, just the idea alone that their DLCs were fucking like had comic book covers and mini comics would have been enough, even when it was buy to play, for like half the goddamn people that entered the store to be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that just to try it. Like, even if they didn't like it afterwards, right? That's the right market, and they never did that. It's just like mind-boggling that you would go that route to package it and not advertise in that space. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm like, someone is either handcuffed or just stupid. And I don't know which it is, and I don't want to lean into like aggressively berating people I don't know and jobs that I don't know how they do.
Right, yeah. But because from what we know of just you know, most of the community managers in generally whenever we ask them questions, they're like, listen, we're handcuffed. Yeah, like we're handcuffed.
A lot of the time, it's like, you know, money guys up top go like, no, you can't do that, right?
Yeah.
It's very possible someone went, hey, let's go advertise in like Diamond Comics, and someone said like, nope. Someone up the chain said nope. But
too expensive. We can't do that.
Which, I mean, I don't buy that for a second. There's all kinds of garbage advertised in comic books that I'm sure doesn't make anything. Like, there's no way that shit's expensive to do.
Head on, apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah, like, there's all kinds of dumb shit is in advertising comics. They're legendary for it. Like, you know, X-ray glasses and shit. Like, it's advertised in comic books. Hell, there's a comic book character made about the horrible advertisements in comic books. Like the advertisements that were like, what was it, Chuck something? Oh, the muscle guy. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I know it's Chuck something.
Yeah.
No, way older.
I don't know this reference.
No.
No.
Comic
Must
book
be a
ads.
Pennsylvania thing over there.
Oh,
At
sorry.
Pittsburgh.
Charles Atlas.
Oh, okay.
Charles Atlas. Really old, okay? Really old. It was, Charles Atlas, world number one bodybuilder, says, "Don't be half a man." Like, you could get his, like, I don't know, like, mail off for, like, your manual of, like, how to do workouts to be buffer. Like, that shit was in,
to be as buff as Jimmy's character is right now.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna put this.
Do you want to be an Egyptian god? Here are the 5 steps.
Waffle, if you can throw that up there, this is an actual ad that used to be in comic books like all the time, along with those like X-ray glasses and other bullshit.
Okay.
Oh, this is really old. We're going way back.
Yeah.
This is like
now
40s and 50s.
There is a comic book called Flex Mentallo, Man of Muscle Mystery. That is literally based on that ad. Like, that was the genesis of the... I mean, it's pretty easy to see. I want to give you the other picture. Like, it's literally like a kid orders the thing and then turns into this guy. Which it's got the leopard underwear and everything.
Okay.
Which is now, by the way, on TV because he's a character in the Doom Patrol series. Which is if you haven't seen it, that's a really good.
No, I started watching.
What network is that?
That's HBO. Or HBO
is it HBO Max now?
Yeah.
He's a character in there. He's made the transition from a Charles Atlas bodybuilding ad to a comic character on TV, like a prominently featured one. It's fucking great.
Bad advertising spawning all kinds of things.
This is the kind of bullshit that gets advertised in comic books. You can't tell me this costs a lot of money to like take out an ad in a comic. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, like there's certain comics that for Secret World would have been, as someone that again ran a comic store, would have been perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
The Walking Dead would have been perfect.
The Walking Dead would have been good, but also there's a little comic called The Invisibles, if anyone ever knew about it. And the same writer wrote a miniseries called The Filth, which also had like a bunch of really weird shit in it. But if anyone was into that kind of weird shit and into that kind of writing, the Secret World writing would have been like right up their alley as someone that enjoys that stuff, right? Like,
okay,
there was definitely like, not like maybe you wouldn't advertise in like Aquaman comics or something, but like for sure they fucking missed the boat on their advertising, which is sad. It's sad because Secret World's launch was historically bad, right? Like I wasn't there for the launch, but no one debates that. FunCon doesn't debate that. They launched really badly when they launched. Partially because a bunch of other shit launched at the same time. But also partially because they were really bad at getting the word out. They just were.
Well, I think the only thing I can remember is that they had the Facebook game where you can pick or figure out which of the 3 that you can you're associated with.
The factions?
Yeah, the factions. Yeah, I was thinking. I was thinking of the word.
Well, they even had the ARG like beforehand and stuff. Yeah, the scandal didn't help. Like the embezzlement thing, that was like upper management shit. That didn't help.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was going on.
Yeah,
right.
The insider trading or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was straight up embezzlement. Like it may have been more than that. I remember something about it.
I know there was the insider trading and then embezzlement. Ragnar leaving. Ragnar was
very,
part of.
very well could have been like, this money was for the marketing budget, and I'm going to take it home.
Right. And where was the marketing for this game? Oh, I mean,
in my back pocket.
Yeah.
I got a Mars bar.
That's the money that was actually, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It like I said, it seems like it's gotten a bit better, which has been nice to see. I still think it could use some improvements.
But I mean, you know,
it's nowhere near where it should have been.
I don't expect them to do it on Secret World, by the way. Like, I know people are like, "Oh my god, the game does need more love and advertisement, and it would be great if that happened." It's unlikely.
It's unlikely, yeah.
No,
I would pin my hopes more on like another game like Moons of Madness, like something else, taking the IP and running with it. You know, maybe the Congo happens in another game. I'm okay with that, right? Like, I don't personally care like that much if the story continues in a different game or genre or anything.
I mean,
let's face it.
Moons came out,
but let's face it.
Exactly.
The story continued in a different game, technically already.
I don't know if it continued. It had like prequel stuff in the park. It had kind of sideways stuff in Hide and Shriek. Honestly, there was.
I'm just talking about Secret World Legends itself. Like, you know, Secret World and Secret World Legends are actually two different games.
It's a reboot. I don't know if I call it different. That one's really hard because it's like literally 90% the same, right? Like the story,
it is, yeah.
The story missions did not drastically change, and even if they functionally change, like you go to point X instead of Y in Kingsmith or something, the story itself didn't really change.
No, but it did continue.
It did continue, which was nice to have it continue.
Mm-hmm.
But like Moons of Madness specifically happens in the future.
Yeah, and it's entirely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, I don't know if they want to make a Congo game that's a fucking first-person shooter or something. As long as the writing's there, fucking do it. Like, let me go play that. You know what I mean?
It's true. Like, it's not so much that that we love this specific game itself. Of course, you know we do, but the lore is what really kind of drives it all forward, and the world that they built in here kind of draws it all forward. And so, right, like, it doesn't really matter where that story is.
I legitimately don't care. You can make a fucking Fortnite clone that's Secret World, as long as there's like legend bits to collect and the story moves forward. Fucking do it. Let's go. You know,
and that could work.
It could. Fortnite has like new story events like every goddamn couple of months. I loaded into one and couldn't fucking get out of an unskippable like cinematic shit with the last one that went on for like 15 minutes. It was solid story. Imagine if there was like a Secret World IP, you know, free to play battle royale where every couple of months you boot in like in a new event's going on and some other asshole is summoning filth things or zombies or mummies or who the fuck knows whatever.
Which is usually the way that it goes anyway.
Angels come flying down one event and now you're just like fighting that shit. Like, as long as there's story movement and the writing is on pace, right? Like, I don't care what fucking game genre it is. I want to see more of the world in any way possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, go wherever works. I don't care if it's
there was something. Wasn't there something? There was one
Roller
article.
Coaster Tycoon Secret World Edition. Like, let's go. I'll do it.
Roller Coaster Tycoon, the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as as long as it progresses, right? As long as it to be real, I'd play the prequel of like you building the park. 100%. Yes. Put everything in like order so the anima stuff works and like you kill the guest
has died behind.
Yes, to like generate anima and like power the stuff. Yes, I would 120% play that game.
Be like a combination of Roller Coaster Tycoon and Dungeon Master. Sort of similar.
Yeah, like the goal is to kill your people that come in, but keep them coming in. Yeah, I would 100% play that game. But ideally, I'd like to see the story move forwards. But again, in literally any genre, like I don't care. Like make the shit move. Like just make something.
Like use this IP. Use this IP.
Yeah, which I'm glad they did with Moons. At least now there's like precedent. I think Moons did pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Right, the park was a sort of a test bed for.
Park was literally just an engine test bed.
Right,
that was them getting ready for Exiles.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough,
because it was that and Hide and Shriek.
Yeah, the park was the Oslo team getting ready for getting familiar with the Unreal Engine in preparation for Exiles.
Right. So
and Hide and Shriek was the North Carolina team getting ready for the Unreal Engine in preparation for their next thing, which I think didn't happen. Or got put like an indefinite hold. The co-op shooter.
That was the co-op shooter.
Yeah. As far as I know, that because Exiles boomed, and then Dune came about as like a possibility. Mm-hmm. The co-op shooter got put like on indefinite hold because I believe
what IP was that? That was one of the IPs that they purchased in that wholesale.
I think it was Mutant Year Zero.
No,
right. No, it was Mutant Year Zero.
It was. Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't Year Zero, but it was.
But it was still Mutant. It was still Mutant Chronicles or something.
Yeah, it was Mutant Chronicles. It was Mutant Chronicles.
Yeah,
it was in one of the financial reports where they had like one screenshot of there was like had like some symbols on it, and it was
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was going to be a Mutant Chronicles co-op shooter, because Tron was working on it. But he's not at Funcom anymore. He's actually now over at the company that makes Paladins.
High Res. Or Evil Mojo.
Yeah.
Same thing.
One of those.
It's the same.
Whatever company makes Paladins, he's over there. Because it's the only reason I installed Paladins at all. So I could play it and then bitch at Tron about the game. This is shit! But yeah, that was it. There was a co-op shooter. It was going to be Mutant Chronicles. I was really hoping the co-op shooter would be something Secret Role, but we had gotten like a preview image. And been led on that the actual property was the Mutant Chronicles property.
But as you remember, that was when they bought up all of those like tabletop role-playing game IPs in like a wholesale. They got like 15 or like a whole metric ton of them, a ton of IPs.
Yeah, Zen is saying there's a new gaming company.
Yeah.
Well, okay. He said Zen said two different things here that I'm not sure are actually connected.
Well, no, it's what's his name, Mike Morhaime. I don't know if he is particularly.
I feel like that happens all the time, though.
Well, he not Jeff, but Mike Morhaime and a couple other of the ex-Blizzard people created another game studio.
Okay.
They haven't said what they're going to be releasing. They're just working on whatever they're doing behind the scenes. Jeff Kaplan just left. Was it yesterday or Tuesday?
Yeah. He left yesterday, I think.
I mean, when he was doing the last one there at Blizzard, that was part of the old crew.
Yeah, 19 years. And Jeff Kaplan was like, peace.
But when Amazon was forming, they did the same thing. They pulled a lot of talent from all kinds of places. And
so the only thing I was saying was that, I mean, unless it's new news, I didn't hear that Jeff Kaplan was going anywhere yet.
No, I didn't hear he was going anywhere.
He didn't announce that he left for that other company that's sucking up new talent. He just announced he left.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he did, but he also might have just left for other reasons and is, doing something.
Yeah,
maybe he's growing beets on a farm or something else.
I was gonna say he could just retire. He's probably okay, probably set.
But yeah, I mean, it could be sure, but as far as I know, anyways, I hadn't seen any news.
He's any under releases. NDA that he can't announce or go anywhere just yet. Since leaving, as probably part of his care package from ActiBliz.
That's probably true. Yeah,
it's certainly feasible.
That you can't go to a competitor within a certain number of years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because knowing Active Blizz, they are very harsh with their staff or anybody leaving. That hey, you can't do this.
And I could see Activision Blizzard doing that.
Yeah, Dreamhaven.
Dreamhaven is a company. Yeah, I've heard of that. I did hear that a bunch of people left. There was like I
think, yeah, there was I want to say
like a split. I thought it was more than that.
That's the only ones I know of. I can remember off the top of my head. But it gathered a lot of old Activision Blizzard people.
Always feels like whenever one of these new studios pops up, that they're like, oh, they pulled all this talent from everywhere else, and then you don't hear about them for a long time.
Well, that's the thing, because they got 5-10 years to do any kind of like production and trying to work out new engines, or by Unreal, or if they want to do a off the shelf type engine.
Right, create their own like Dreamworld here, yeah.
So it's like we're not going to hear anything for years.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, one of their foundation things from the article I was looking at is giving people time to actually make shit. So,
be like, when we launch anything, we don't want it to be vaporware.
Especially if Morheim is at the head of this. I mean, he's old Blizzard. That's what they used to do. Is they didn't.
Well, he was like the co-founder
until
right?
it was done. Yeah. Like they had a good feeling about it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and release it. We're confident. Instead of
it's like,
here you go. You got phones, don't you?
Low blow, sir. Low blow.
But I do have to admit, what I've seen of Diablo Immortal does look interesting. Looks like a mobile version of Diablo.
I just don't want to play shit on mobile, though.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, I would be like, okay, give me a PC version of it, please. I just don't play shit on my phone.
Well, I played was it League of Legends Wild Rift on a tablet, and it's okay.
Like, I mean, I've played stuff on my phone, but admittedly, it's all terrible. It's all awful.
Well, I finally found one of those games. You know all those advertisements you see for games where it's like, pull the rod, and then like the lava falls down.
Yes, yeah.
So I read an article on those like, and I found this to be true as well myself. I not just reading an article, but like none of those exist.
Oh
the ad is for a game like that, and then you install the game, and it's nothing like the ad. And you're like, but I just wanted to pull the rods and see shit happen.
Gold.
Oh yeah, no. Whenever you see an advertisement for a game, almost on mobile, which you will see because usually the games have you watch ads. But usually, whenever you see one of those ads, almost guaranteed, whatever the ad is for, they are lying their asses off.
So, but I mean, it's really strange. So I read a thing on that, right? And it's like they literally just crank out like that style of advertisement, and then just like shit games because it's all about like the installs and the ads or something.
Mm-hmm. It's how much they can get before someone sues them for it, and then they have to shut down. Yeah,
and then they just pop up again, so it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But someone saw this shit and was like, well, fuck it, a lot of people like this advertisement idea, and he made the actual game.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna do
the advertisement. Like, and I went and found it because it was in this article that called it out. Like, someone actually made the game that everyone actually wants to play and never gets to, because it's not a real, it's not a real game normally. And yeah, the game was fun. I played like fucking 100 levels of it or something. I just like that little puzzle shit. That's all I wanted to do. Like, how hard is it to make that fucking game? And I think the answer really was it wasn't that hard. The guy did it. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, not that difficult. No, I think one of the most egregious ones that I've seen lately is in one of the advertisements. It brings up like a like a PC from the 90s, like that white screen, the sort of like eggshell color look to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this, like, our game was popular back in the 90s, and it was like it hit the top of the PC charts, and now we've turned it into a mobile game that does like the same thing. And what they're trying to basically say is the game is called like the mobile game is called like Empire something, or like Age of Kings or something like that. Something stupid. I don't even know. But their whole thing is that they're trying to make themselves out like they were Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, the actual really popular RTS game series. And then they were like, our game was really popular back then. And it's like, you're not the same game. You're not even the same company. Age of Empires is owned by Microsoft. What are you doing?
What was it? EA. I think it's EA. They reimagined Commander Keen as a mobile game.
Commander Keen was awesome, though.
Yeah. But
that was id Software.
id Software. Okay.
Actually, fun fact.
No, I'm saying the original makers of Commander Keen was id Software.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
But fun fact, Apogee is actually restarting up and making games again.
What the shit? That's nutty.
Yeah. I just saw that like was it just yesterday? They had like a whole video announcement with the guy who voiced Doom. Actually, like,
don't play with me, my lord.
But it was like the guy who voiced Doom, and he's like Apogee is coming back for to make games again. And then they showed all these games, and none of them really looked that great, but but they were like, none of these games have titles yet. These are all proofs of concept. Anyway, we're making games again. I was like, oh shit, Apogee.
They made a ton of shit. I mean, most of it was not that great.
No, most of it was like shareware. I think they basically pioneered shareware.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of games were shareware back in the day.
Where they gave you like the first level of something like Wolfenstein or Doom or something, and
I played the shit out of that first level.
Yeah, that's right. You played the shit out because you had to pay for the rest of them.
Now, a lot of game companies are going to the mobile side of things, releasing mobile games.
But and yet, no one. I haven't seen really any one of them get it that right.
Raid Shadow Legends.
I mean, that one's like advertised like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, that's because I don't know how they make any money, because they spend a lot of money to get their ad on like a lot of YouTubers' channels.
You'd be surprised how many people drop cash on mobile games.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the only reason why, or the only reason why to even play the games and get past like a certain point. Oh, you guys spend $10 to get these gems in order to level up.
That's right. Yeah, you had to dial in your local BBS on your 14.4 Haze modem. You didn't have 28.8? Oh, man.
No, I had a 2400 baud modem. Yeah, 2400 is like 2.4. I literally had
hopefully no one needs to call anyone or pick up the phone. Oh, God forbid someone picks up the phone.
Mom,
get the hell out the phone! I just hear that horrible sound of all your data packets dropping.
It's like, no, my bits.
The days when loading one naughty image took like 5 minutes.
That was like an IT crowd episode that's fucking perfect of that. It's like, okay, good eyebrows. Okay,
right.
That's a human nose.
Nose is good.
That's a human nose. The upper lip's okay.
Yep.
show was hilarious and accurate.
And accurate, yeah. Hey, what's it? I met one of my first girlfriends on a BBS. It's like one of my nerd cred. It's like I actually, because all BBSs were local. They were very local.
Sure, yeah.
Playing like Legend of the Red Dragon or something.
Legend of the Red Dragon.
Doing about the dudes who kept their BBS servers in their garages or whatever. Hey, whatever. It was a wild time.
Back in the day.
Good times.
It truly was the Wild West of the internet.
And ASCII art.
Oh yeah, good ASCII.
In a AOL Messenger, all of a sudden you get a little boob, naked woman pops up, or a pot leaf.
I think I told you guys about that, right? Like I was putting on guitar strings and I realized my guitar strings had like an Earthlink sticker on the back. I was like, holy fuck, these are old.
You're like, Earthlink, okay.
It's like, oh wow, these are really, really fucking old strings.
Well, they're not all local. You just couldn't afford to pay MCI for a 3-hour long distance call. That's fair. No, ours were the one that I called into was literally like 2 towns over.
Yeah, I mean, even where I was in fucking middle of nowhere desert in California, still had local bulletin boards. Probably because there was nothing else to do.
There was nothing else to do. Yeah, that was the internet, basically.
Yeah.
All right, I just gotta say, I'm in a Hellraise dungeon, and this tank did not impair Machine Tyrant's Demolish. And I didn't die. I dodged out. I am sorely disappointed. You had one job.
One job.
And now they impaired this one. Okay.
Say what level at?
I don't remember actually.
E something.
What was it? E8.
Okay.
Which is just, I believe, above the tier that I solo. I routinely solo the E5 to 7 range. When I say routinely, I mean generally like every day. It's just easier.
That would be routinely, yes.
Yeah. I literally it's just faster than me trying to find a group to do the damn shit with.
I'm actually trying to find any sort of information on the launch of Secret World. Like, I wasn't around for it either, but I don't.
Yeah, it's 2012, and like a bunch of other shit launched like literally the same time.
I was like, I don't remember it being like a too terrible launch, but maybe on just population alone, right?
No, it had a bad launch, like for multiple reasons. Other shit launched at the same time. It had massive issues when it launched. Like it had actual launch bugs, which is, I mean, to be expected, right? But they had some pretty bad ones. Someone was complaining about one in the Discord actually like a week or two ago. If Honor's still here, maybe they remember. Something they were complaining about, like the chat not working, or their friends had told them that the chat didn't work, or they didn't have chat, or some shit like that. When really what happened is when it launched, like the IRC chat broke, and you had to do everything manually. Great advertisement mode. Join us. We can stop soloing dungeons because no groups pop. No, okay. So Zen, I don't recommend using the activity finder, anyways. Use looking for group. But what I'm saying for me personally is, normally when the times I have to play is very limited, and I at any point in that time may have to just like stop and go do something else. So I intentionally don't join the group finder, and I intentionally don't go find groups to run with most of the time, because 2 minutes in I might get a phone call and have to abandon, and that's a dick move to do to a group of players. We had someone do it to us today. I actually joined a group for looking for group earlier today, which, like, you know, that's one time in like the past 3 months or something. Like I rarely do that. But I just joined like a random pug like Phil because I had a little bit of time and I was pretty sure I was okay to do that. And one of the other players just fucking sat there. And at first I thought maybe they crashed or something. Because when that happens, they just appear in the map. But I was like, oh, maybe they crashed. And a little bit later, they're like, oh, no, I was busy. I had to do something. But they never said anything before they went to do anything or after. And also, they didn't say anything after that. They literally stayed in the same spot the entire dungeon. We finished it without them. So, like, to me, that's like one of the rudest things you can do. So when I know that I have a limited, not just limited time, but time that is not necessarily uninterruptible, I will go myself. Because then, if I'm soloing E5 Ankh and I'm on boss 2 and something comes up, I can wait 10 minutes. Doesn't matter. I'm not affecting anyone else. You know? Hell, I can like wait so long the game closes. Whatever, I'll just go back in. Like, I haven't abandoned a match with someone else. So, I don't... But what I would say is, don't use the activity finder.
Okay.
I guess. Or if you do use it and supplement by looking for group and sanctuary. Right? Maybe it would be nice in a perfect world if that worked, but someone else didn't realize I was telling... I have on my Twitch stream a like user channel points to redeem a random Secret World trivia fact. And then I have to think of one because Poland keeps redeeming that shit all the time. And I'm like, God damn it.
You didn't have a set of 200 already set to go?
No, and I should because I can't remember anything on the spot. And so I'm always like, I know shit. Hold on. But one of the things that came up sort of organically in conversation was that, yeah, the activity finder was not there in TSW until like the last year, maybe.
Yeah, the activity finder was not at launch. Yeah.
Not only not at launch, it was literally like maybe in the last year or two of TSW's existence. Like, that shit wasn't there. Period. For the longest time. Because you remember we used to have to run down the branches and enter the portals in TSW dungeons?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that with an activity finder. It just pops, right? The activity finder did not exist in TSW for a long time. The normal process was you just shouted in Agartha for people, and then you set one poor sap to run down the branch. Because when you entered, you'd pull everyone else. Right? And especially, like, this is how long there wasn't one. Tokyo dungeons. Tokyo Aegis dungeons. You would have to send some poor bastard to run the entire length of the dungeon branch. It took like 2 minutes to get to the goddamn end of the branch where those dungeons were. And then you could enter. I think the activity finder came out like... shortly after the Aegis dungeons. Because I remember running for the portal and I remember queuing, and I think there was a problem with queuing. There was a reason like we still ran for portals sometimes. Because the queuing would like fuck up one of the achievements or something somehow.
Okay.
I don't know, it was something weird. I remember that even after the activity finder came into the game, there was a reason like we would still send someone to run the marathon of the entire length of the branch to get to the last dungeons to go in, because it triggered it differently than the group finder did. Pet peeve with chat is that PMs are hidden by default. Are they hidden by default? I think they're just in their own tab by default.
I don't know what default is anymore. I changed mine around so much.
I don't think they're hidden. I think they're in a different tab and no one opens it. I base that, by the way, on the fact that I stalk the shit out of Secret World streamers that are new.
I have the basic what you get when you.
Yeah, you have a telemessage tab. The problem is
play, you don't hear the message or you don't understand what it is and you don't look here.
There's a ding and that highlights red and no one ever clicks on it. I have many new streamers of the game I have seen with that chat window and I send them a message in game and they don't ever click over to the tab.
That's fair.
No, that's not the same as hidden, Zen. It's not the same as hidden. If you can't click on a highlighted red box, it's not hidden. Just because they don't open it, there's also tons of people. Look at Waffle's mission up there. Which one do you have? The step in time?
Step in time, yeah.
And it tells you the next step. Do you know how many new people I see that go, what do I do now? And don't read that? That's not the game's fault, okay? That is not the game's fault.
Well, they also got you little marker here. It's like, go this way. It's over here.
Yeah, the number of people I see that marker, turn around run the other way is infuriating. So I can't blame the game for the person playing it just literally not paying attention to the shit on the screen.
Well,
right?
The thing is the game doesn't tell you, even through the new tutorial, yeah, it does explain a lot of stuff well.
I think it does tell you about that side mission thing, by the way, though.
It does?
I'm pretty sure it does, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we've done the tutorial so how many times? I mean, but still.
You could put it in the playfield chat, but it's not playfield chat. I understand what you're saying, Zen. I don't personally agree.
How many people
I think the red notification actually, the red notification should make it more important that you click. That's why it's red, to show you this is
that important. There's new stuff there.
Yeah, if you're on the general tab and a tel comes in, the tab won't be red because it's the one that's open. So it's always red, meaning a tel's going to go into the general tab in your example, and all the other shit that goes into general is going to pile up, and that message is now 5 pages up, and they missed it. The tel window has a red marker that you only goes away when you click on it to see you have a tel message. So, no, I don't think it's better to put it in general. I think that would hide it much worse.
I can kind of see where Zen's coming from, though, because like in other games, if someone sends you a tel, it's like a loud thing. It goes into your, by default, it goes into the same chat that's in your general tab that's currently all set up, and you have to move it away from that manually if you don't want those tells going there. So I can kind of see that, but no, the fact is that no, if someone sends you a tel message, you do get a ding, and it does light up red. So
it's red when you send message to Zen. It's not red if you're in the tab. It's only red if you send a tel message from a different window. You can send, I can be in looking for group chat and type /R to reply to a tel. And yes, my tel message window will go red because my reply went into there. But if I'm in the tel message window typing back and forth, no, that's the tab open. It won't be red. So and also this is basic IRC shit, like literally IRC shit. So
right, goes back to AOL, Instant Messenger, and even before that,
super complicated, and all of it is based on systems that at least the time of the game's launch people would have been familiar with. Maybe nowadays you got kids that never experienced IRC and don't know what this is.
True.
But as someone that fucking had IRC back in fucking around the time the game launched, it makes sense. The chat system functions in a kind of like Windows, right? You know that there's file, you know there's preferences, you know there's tabs, you know how the UI works. The chat works. I don't think there's a problem with the chat, other than it's kind of fallen out of fashion since 2012 when the game was made. But I would still argue, though, that tabs that highlight to tell you shit is pretty standard. They're just GUI tabs now. Like if I'm in Twitch, right, and I get a whisper, the little icon has a red ding. The whisper doesn't show up in my Twitch chat. That's not what happens. So, as an example of something that happens right now, current gen, right? Twitch notifications of like private messages go in a separate window with a little red number mark on a tiny icon in the upper corner.
And I miss those all the time.
I try and pay attention to those. But the point is...
Don't bother. It's like, oh, look, a free game. I can see the little mark up there. Oh, wait, no, it's wrong. Wrong.
Yeah, right. Because the game notification and the whisper notification are right next to each other.
Right next to each other, right. So, yeah.
Twitch could learn to get better, but I would say Twitch is worse at it than even Secret World is at it. So, there's a limit also as a developer and a programmer of applications for the technically challenged. I can say that there's only so much you can do, right? There's literally only
like a big red dot says click me, and it'd be like, where do I click?
I literally had a conference. The meeting, by the way, that I missed the Conan Exiles dev stream for, literally had a spot where I was like, look, these guys have a workflow in their app where when they click something, the next thing automatically pops up and says, are you done? Click yes. And they don't click yes. And I was like, unless you attach a shock collar to the damn thing that shocks them until they pick an option, it ain't going to work. Like, they won't do it. You cannot, like, make a horse drink water. You can show them where the water is, but have you ever tried, like, putting a horse in a half Nelson and making it drink water? It does not work. doesn't work.
That's what I do on weekends.
Is it good wrestling practice? Really get that core strength?
You get that horse in there, yeah.
That horse wrestling core strength.
So I minored in college.
Like legitimately, like there's only so much you can do as a UI designer, as a programmer. You can only do so much, and at some point, the person has to want to look, right? They have to want to use what's in front of them. If you don't read the text on your screen, I can't help you. If you don't look at the symbols on your screen, I can't help you. I'll keep saying the default should be tell to playfield, and I'll keep saying I think that's wrong. The playfield has too much stuff in it. Too much normal stuff needs to go in the playfield. That message is going to go whoop, whoop.
And actually, the fact that Secret World has a tell messages tab there by itself is actually much different than most games have at all. Most games don't even have that. No, they just sort of you'll do private messages just all in your main tab unless you create a tell messages tab yourself.
Also, you just said it should flash pulse. It turns red. The IRC chat's not going to flash or pulse. It's a text window, but it turns red. It literally visually tells you there's an unread message there. I can't help you, man. Like, you're asking for shit that exists already. Now, if you only look at your playfield tab and that's your thing, and you don't mind having your screen the height of your entire window, which, by the way, I've seen people do. I've seen people do that, Waffle. I'm not even joking. Now, if you want to, on general tab, subscribe to tell messages, because nothing stops you from doing that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Kingsman so dark? Oh my god, this game is so dark. Oh, my chat window's fucking covering the whole thing. If you want to subscribe to tell messages in your general tab, you can, but unless you have that thing like 10 feet tall, that message is going to go whoop, because what goes in there is like random shit that NPCs say walking around you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like enemy NPCs, like enemy monsters will, like, shit that is text will show up there. Items you collect will show up there. All kind, like, just people shouting in your zone show up there. Right? /say stuff. For example, if you run Venetian Missile Crisis, which I understand is like fucking E4 or whatever, and way into the game. For example, if you run Venetian Missile Crisis, all those warehouse guys that will attack you, you have to fight. Every single one of them spams the same line in/say. And you will literally have a brick of text in your general tab from them because they say the same shit to like the /say or general tab. I actually hit up Nervell about it before because I'm pretty sure it's bugged. I think he tried to do something, but it didn't actually really work. It might have cut down on it a little bit. I don't know. It's not a problem for me.
Just straight up spam.
I go through
NPC spam.
Out. Problem for new people. You saw it yourself. Suggestion, solution besides Jimmy will come to your stream and explain things to you. Well, to be fair, all I'm explaining to them is
he does.
Look at your screen. I mean, legitimately, like, I wasn't kidding about the mission tab on the right, like, that tells you what to do next. I literally saw a new streamer, like, they had the mission icon. Like, they looked at it, they clicked it, and then they started to look around and didn't actually read what it said. It literally told you what to do next. And they're like, what do I do now? And they're like, this. Just looking around the environment because they didn't bother to read the 3 things under the icon that tell you what to do next. There's nothing you can do about that. And also, I will say this, especially newer streamers, newer and maybe smaller streamers, I guess, maybe a little bit of both. I mean, often they're the same, right? You very rarely have a new giant streamer, right? They're usually smaller and newer.
Ninja comes play Secret World.
Right, yeah.
But that wouldn't be a new streamer. I mean, right? He's a pro. I'm saying like a new to streaming.
Yeah,
you rarely see
started their Twitch account.
This is my first stream tonight.
You rarely see a new streamer that's
Why are
got
10,000 people here? Yeah.
That doesn't fucking happen. That's what I'm trying to say. Most times the new streamers are also small streamers, and they're not really good yet at like balancing focus between what they're doing and like chat and everything else. So their gameplay tends to be more like reactive, like you know what I mean? Which is they're apt to like fuck up more, which is actually usually fine for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
But they're also apt to just miss obvious stuff because their focus isn't on just the game. Their focus is like this new streaming thing they're doing, and the chat on the side, and this over here and this over there. And so they tend to, you can see them split. You can visually see them split focus and be like, "What? Oh, wait, what am I doing? What? Oh, wait, what am I doing?" Right, like that, like all the time. It's really common.
I say that 10 times a stream anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I do it. I know what I'm doing.
What was I doing again?
Yeah. Like, I know I meant to do something, and I know I'm supposed to know to do something because I've done this 1,000 times before. Fuck, was it again?
What the hell was I doing?
Yeah, like that happens to everyone. But I'm just saying, as a newer streamer on a new game, they're oftentimes just aren't paying attention to the basic shit out the gate. It's super common, and it's not the game's fault.
And especially when the game is trying to teach it to you through the tutorial.
When you're in the tutorial and literally not paying attention to the tutorial because you're talking to your 2 viewers in chat and you don't know how to balance 2 viewers and a game yet, which means you sure shit ain't ready for 20 viewers in a game or 200 viewers in a game, right? Like, it takes time to work that out. It's not just streamers, no, but it's people that don't pay attention. Like, I feel like you just need to pay attention. I don't think that's asking a lot. Like, look at what's on your screen.
Well, also a lot of people when they go through a tutorial, I don't need to learn about this.
Right.
Right. WASD. Well, yeah.
Well, I know how to do that.
I know that. Yeah.
Well,
avoid the red shiny things. Okay. Go around these.
Yeah. Waffle, you are fucking downloading data. Holy shit.
I've been downloading. Well, I just installed it earlier today.
Oh, okay. I was like, how are you like You've been playing this game forever. You're downloading data still.
No, I nuked Windows last night.
Oh, that's right. I saw. You know what? I spaced. See, I forgot. I did see your thing about that.
You gotta pay attention to Twitter.
Oh, I did not. You had to reinstall Windows?
Did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Oof.
he nuked it.
Well, I've been getting a lot of random blue screens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw your
all
tweet.
right.
I think I even liked it. So I did pay attention to it. I did see it. I just didn't connect with the fact that you would have had to reinstall Secret World, and that's why you're downloading. I just assumed because you never do anything in Secret World, you never claim your loot, you never claim your rewards. I was like, it would not have surprised me that you were actually downloading something from someone nearby you.
And also actively downloading the rest of the game too.
Yeah, that would not. Honestly, it surprised me a little bit, but like maybe this much. Like I'm like, oh well, shit. I guess that one outfit someone ran by with Ember hadn't downloaded yet. Or Waffle, sorry. God damn it. I was doing so good. Your character's Ember. Your character Ember had not downloaded it yet.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, okay, that's fair. You're gonna be doing that for a while.
Yeah.
That download's gonna go
Till the end of time.
until your RDB directory is like 38 gigs, you don't have it all.
Well, it's a good thing I got plenty of space on my C drive.
Oh, the
Always a
thing
good
is, I
thing.
think when you do the quote full install, you get like 15 gigs or something, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm done." Nope.
Joke's
thank
on
you.
you.
You have like less than half, slightly less than half.
What's mine at now?
Now it could be higher, by the way, because when you patch and when you repair RDB, it bloats the RDBs.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
when you repair,
my install's at 48 gigabytes,
yeah.
which is
I
pretty
believe-
bloated because I don't think I've ever like uninstalled it and whatever. So that's an install from
Yeah, I believe
3 or
what
4 years ago.
happens, like when you patch and when you repair, the adjusted portions of the RDB just get like blocked off. But they're still there. So like, let's say you ever did a repair, right? And like something was a little off. It was like, oh, this part's bad. It doesn't delete it. It just goes, I'm gonna put
It's
this
not
over
there
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Right now
it's
I'm
maybe
at
the end of the
27 gigs.
blockchain or something. Probably just puts it at the end of the blockchain and then fixes that part there. And so the file just kind of grows.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I
right
think
now-
the same happens with patches, actually. I think if the patch, I mean, obviously patches can add things, but I think even when they change things, they essentially just move the part that's changed, changed, and then add in that part, right? So you still have essentially the change and the old part still there.
Yeah, like I'm sure if I re-downloaded the game now, that it would be a lot less.
Well,
even full
like I said,
downloading would not be
well,
48
full
gig.
download would still only give you like 15 gig, but once you full downloaded and sat in the game for the next 3 days and let the background thing go or whatever,
Yeah,
you should end up around 38 gigs when it's all done.
Well, I got 10 more gigs to go, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Very likely. Agarth is a good place for it, though.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with everyone passing by. Yeah,
Yeah, Agartha is where people like new players show up in a. This is way more important than the telemessage thing, by the way. New players show up in Agartha and their game goes.
Well, that's what when I first loaded it, I was inside the mall, and it was just like,
It's like
That's
a
what,
PowerPoint presentation, and and the same thing happens to everyone. Oh my god, this game runs like shit. Like they're blaming like the performance, and I'm like, you're downloading. And the number of times I've gone to new streamers and said, see that
background
spinning circle?
downloading.
You're downloading. It's not because the game can't render graphics. It's because you're downloading shit. So
then again, it doesn't tell you though until you.
I mean,
hover.
it does.
Well, you have to hover over.
It tells you when you load into a new zone, it'll have an actual bigger message in text that says downloading new data. So like when you say you were in Kingsmouth and you go into Agartha, on the loading screen for Agartha, it should have like a text box that pops up in the upper, I think, left corner that says like, downloading missing data or something.
Yeah,
now
but
after that, once you're
people don't
in, you
look
just
at
have the
that,
spinning
though.
icon.
People don't.
Yeah,
look
if
at
you're
that,
just not
though.
looking at the screen when that happens or reading it or whatever, yeah, sure.
See, and just Jimmy standing here, because when you go near a character, it has to load everything about that character, all their achievements and bank and this and that. It does all of that. Jimmy just standing here is basically helping people.
Black hole for your bandwidth.
They just walk near him and it's like,
but then for these new people.
But then it's all done. All you gotta do is just walk next to Jimmy and you got everything.
Yeah. See, like this person, it's just, I feel sorry for them because it's black hole.
That's why you standing next to him is a good thing, because it's just downloading from him.
Yeah.
This outfit is from TSW. I finally did my last transfer. I think I told you guys.
You did tell, yeah. You did say that.
Yeah. That's why I pulled this out, because I was like, ooh, it came over in the transfer.
And you're ripped.
And I'm ripped.
Look at those.
Crazy
Look at those.
So ripped.
God, I wish. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even need to be that ripped. If I could get like halfway
I don't want to be that ripped. That looks painful, like all the time.
I mean, that would be okay. It'd be fine. I think the work to maintain it would suck. I wouldn't do the work to maintain it.
I mean, that's Gerard Butler 300 ripped.
Yeah.
Bomber's still waiting to do their second vanity transfer.
I was waiting Bomber for a long time, and I finally was just like, there's nothing else I really want to get. There's nothing else I need. I'm just going to do it. And I still didn't hit the stupid achievement goal. By the way, like, let me go look. Collections, clothing. I'm at 2343 out of 2,500 after the transfer. And I was like, are you kidding me? The number of like sandals and bullshit I bought on the TSW account just to pad that number, and I still didn't hit it. I was so pissed.
I was gonna say, you were specifically going in trying to buy up everything.
I was buying bulk.
Every week, yeah.
TSW, yeah. Hey, Mega. I was buying like all kinds of crazy shit that was cheap, like bonus points that were, because I have the lifetime bonus points accrue every month. So I go in there and be like, yep, sandal color, yellow, green, purple, blue, aqua, like whatever. Like I just was buying shit to pad out that achievement intentionally.
That's what it is. Like, they're keeping TSW open because players keep going in there and just spending all their points. They're like, the store is being used. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. The store is actively being
Jimmy
used
goes into
by a whole bunch of people.
Say, what would you like to buy? Yes.
Yes, exactly. Everything. I think what worked against me is I went on my female character on TSW and bought some of the outfits because I hardly ever bought anything there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I got a shit ton extra points. I got some female characters in Legends. I'll buy some of the cool, like assassin outfits or whatever that, I never had because I just don't normally play female characters. But I have a couple good ones over here that I wanted to keep. And I was like, yeah, all right. And that didn't dawn on me that, like, that doesn't count towards Jimmy's achievements.
Yeah, no.
That would count towards
whatever character it's on achievements. Yeah.
They only count, well, when you transfer the items, right, only the male items will count for Jimmy, male and neutral. Mm-hmm. But female items that I bought don't count towards the total.
Right.
For Jimmy. They'll count towards the total of any of the female characters that claim them. So I was like, son of a bitch. Like, as nice as it was to get those, and I don't regret like spending the points on them or anything, but like it's like shit. I needed more. But I honestly don't even know. The reason I did the transfers, I didn't even know what else to get anymore. I was going through and everything I clicked was like, you bought this already. You bought this already. Which, by the way, is super annoying. Nothing tells you in TSW you bought an item already until you click buy the item. Wait 10 seconds, and then it goes, oh, you've already bought this. And I went through like 3 pages of like, click, wait, you've already bought this. Shit. Click, wait, damn it. Click, wait, I was like, all right, screw it, I'm done. That's it, I'm out.
That's why I created a spreadsheet when I was going through this. I went through all my characters, figured out what they had, if I had any duplicates. So, okay, I have this, I don't need to buy that. So I need to buy it on this character because...
So yeah, I gotta buy like, what, 157 pieces of clothing still.
Ooh. Okay.
Which,
Which you could do. It's just different colors of things now.
I was looking. I did actually. I bought some since. I'm broke AF like all the time right now in the game because I'm spending it on Dark Agartha
random
challenges.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say random cosmetics.
I'm not generating a lot of moth right now, and the challenge mode costs 10k marks a day. So like, I'm just basically just bleeding marks every day. And I'm not really like I'm not getting any items that are really like high selling at the moment. So like, yeah, I'm just sort of stuck. But I was going through stuff like what was something that had like a bunch of stuff? Athletic headbands. I have all the colors of athletic headbands now. Right?
Every single one.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that's got a ton of colors that isn't very expensive. So that's what I was going for. I was going for like the thrift store version of the achievement, right? Like, just give me.
Yeah, just what's the cheapest that will get me there?
Give me a bunch of the cheapest shit you have, please. Because there's all kinds of stuff for like Aurum or like 10k or whatever. Like, no. I want cheap shit. I don't remember. What was I buying? I'm trying to look right now to see what I was getting. It wasn't that. I think I bought all the mountaineering glasses. Those were pretty cheap. In like the 6 colors they come in.
All the ski goggles.
Oh, look, do I have
2,500? Yeah, 2,500 each.
Yeah, I think there's some that's cheaper than that even. Oh, I could be wrong. 2,500 is pretty good. I got all the square frames. I never wear the square frames. All 6 colors. Just because. Vintage sunglasses. No, never mind. That's those are Aurum. Nope. Don't want to spend 100 Aurum on shit. I'd be broken.
You're really broke.
Yeah, but you're
the large
the
large frame glasses are only 2,500 moth a piece. 2,500 moth isn't much. And then I still need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 colors of that. That's 12. That's 12 items. Like at 2,500 a piece, that's actually not bad. I need to save up some moth and go buy all of those. But yeah, that's how you pad your achievement thing, right? Is like
makes sense. Just find the cheapest thing and
the cheapest thing that has a ton of colors.
Yes.
And just get all the colors. I'm pretty sure I have like all the fanny packs.
Because why not? Yeah.
Although that might have actually come from TSW, but yeah, you have to have all the fanny packs. I mean, come on. I think I bought all the slip-on shoes. I never wear those, but there's a ton. Oh yeah, skate sneakers low. There's a bunch of those for 2,500.
Large frame glasses, whole bunch for 2,500.
9, 10 skate sneakers. So that's already 20 in. 20 out of like 100 and what did I say? 57 I need.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, man. Like, this shit is doable. I can get this achievement.
Mm-hmm. You just need the moth. That's all.
Yeah.
I need to farm up some moth. And not even a ton of it.
No, not even.
Yeah. And just buy a bunch of dumb shit. And I will get that goddamn achievement, which gives you, by the way, just the stupidest. No, I don't sell fragments. By the way, to answer your question, I use fragments. I'm leveling a tank set. The stupidest freaking achievement for, by the way, 25 points. But what does it give you? Open leather jacket black. It gives you the plainest, shittiest jacket
to get every item in the game. It gives you the worst item.
The achievement's called Fashionista, and the clothing item they give you is a black leather jacket that looks like ass. Like,
but it's worth every month.
I mean, I more care about the 25 achievement points, if I'm being honest. Like, that's a pretty decent chunk. I'm at 7,010 right now. I would be more, but I had Andy reset one of my achievements, and I haven't done it yet. Dusty Dark gives 5 points. It gives nothing at all for 3 hours of not dying. Why does that take you 3 hours? Dusty Dark should not take 3 hours. That's doing something wrong there.
Open leather jacket, black. I'm like, dang it, I need to find that. Hold on.
Yeah, go look for that and see.
Open leather jacket. I mean, open leather jacket comes in a whole bunch of colors, most of which you could actually just buy with Moth.
Yeah.
But the black one, oh yeah, that's got like no character to it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's literally just the plainest piece of shit ever. And it's like, hey, get 2,500 items for an achievement called Fashionista and have this shit-ass black leather jacket. Fuck you. God damn game.
But it's not about the jacket. It's about the journey.
Is it going to stop me from doing it? No, of course not.
No, of course not. You're like, I'm not doing it for the reward. Christ, no.
Like,
Either that or you're going to wear that jacket everywhere anyway. Just so you
anything it gave me, I probably wouldn't wear anyways. But I feel like for a title Fashionista, it should have given like some kind of like Paris runway jacket or something. You know what I'm saying?
Or like the tuxedo set or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like something fancy, but maybe like over the top and dumb, but not like. What is Fashionista about the stupid leather jacket? I don't know, man. I feel like that's the most troll reward in the fucking game.
It happens. It happens.
It's crazy. Hey, do we want to raffle off something again?
We can, if you would like to.
Give me a moment.
I gave away something last time, right? That someone came and claimed?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I have another emote evil laugh.
Nice.
And
I
also have Serengeti Courser still, in case anyone wants a zebra instead.
I have a banknote. No, never mind. That's character bound.
I have one anima shot for you.
One banknote that I can't even give away.
And if anyone that's watching this,
I keep that in my inventory all the time, actually.
If anyone's watching this stream that doesn't already know I'm doing dumb shit, I'm currently doing a playthrough of this game on guitar. So you know,
using a Rocksmith cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm actually playing a real electric guitar that is moving my character around and enabling me to die in really stupid ways. So if you're somehow not aware of that, you should check it out because it's pretty
You were
fun.
just saying that you're about to hit the end of Egypt.
Yeah, I'm actually. So Zen was talking about Dusty Dark. I'm about to actually go do that whole mission chain. Which, speaking of things I'm concerned about in that whole thing, the Angry Earth is pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Except that end part where you dodge, climb, like shooting waves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty tricky. Yeah,
how well that's gonna work. I've done it a bunch of times. I don't care about getting the achievement there or anything. I just want to get past it.
Yeah,
because turning on a dime and moving is not the guitar controller's strong suit by any stretch of the imagination. It is, in fact, the opposite. I would call it its weakness. It does not work well at all.
Be like, you can use all of your abilities, but you can't. You can't move much.
Guys, if you would like emote evil laugh or a zebra mount in the game, you can join the giveaway.
This dang giveaway.
Exclamation point join in chat.
You know the other thing that annoys the shit out of me, by the way? Enemies run up and go just past me, and then I can't hit them. I have to turn around.
F it, I'm doing it.
He gave you time, guys. He gave you time. If no one else enters, that's it's just gonna be Mikey's.
Because I don't have it.
Oh,
Hey, Mangus.
fighting words.
60 seconds, people. Come on.
Mangus probably already got it too. He's just gonna take it.
So yeah, so like you know how enemies will run at you to fight you? Sometimes Zen, the emote evil laugh is being given away. Sometimes when enemies run up to you, they run just past you and start attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
And so as playing a guitar, I have to turn all the way around to hit them, which takes like 3 seconds. It's super annoying.
Yeah.
I'm like, ding, turn around. Like, screw you for making me turn around, asshole. Yes, it's the Darker Grapple one. The one where you cackle. Kind of like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is...
It's me. The name's too... No, it is Manga!
No, it's Manga! As soon as I saw the M, I knew you were screwed.
I was like, that name's too long for Manga. Oh, that's right. Manga has a bigger name. Manga's got a bigger name on Twitch.
Manga, you are the winner.
Beating me out. How dare. Banned. No, congrats, Manga. That's funny.
I mean, if you want to buy one, they're actually not that expensive.
I know, I can.
Okay, I'm just saying. There's only 2 on the auction house right now. All right, Manga. Here is your
Speaking of Moth purchases, right?
evil laugh.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you want to go buy
I
one
think
now?
that- I think
I saw you
there's-
go
yeah.
buy.
There's 2 of them right now. They're not very much. Not for what they used to go for, especially. Whoa.
Yeah, one's for 15,000, the other one's for 24.5. Yeah, it's literally nothing. Considering the fact that, you know, if you do all of just the first tier of achievements and maybe just the what is it? If you do all the first tier of daily challenges and just like the item empowerments and maybe monster kills of the second one, you can get like what 8,000 moths a day.
Waffle just sniped you, in case you were wondering. He just grabbed the one for 15.
Oh, gee. eBay all up in here. He's going to keep it in his inventory just to mock us.
It's going to stay right there by purchases.
It's going to stay there in the purchase. Not even going to be used. It's not even going to be used.
Wow. What a troll. What a troll.
I was just looking at the prices. Jeez.
Close it out the window, and that's where it lays.
You're like, as long as you don't have it.
But
not 24, so that's 3 days. That's 3 days worth of playing.
Wait, do you have like no moth right now at all?
No, I got plenty of moth.
Well, then what's the dealio?
I can buy the other one too if you want.
He's gonna corner the market on Evil Laugh.
He's gonna take them all and he's gonna repost them for 100,000.
He's gonna be doing Evil Laugh while he corners the market on Evil Laughs.
That's what he does. Yeah, buys it all out, and reposts it for a significant more higher price.
Because I remember when those were going for like a couple $100K or something like that. Because those you only can get from the Dark Agartha. I think you have to do the challenge mode, and I'm pretty sure like the higher tiers. I forget where the cutoff is, but
yeah. Now it's just a mission just to keep it away from me, huh?
I mean, to be fair, Mikey, if you wanted to buy it, you could have bought it already.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll show up again. I'm sure.
No, but I mean, like, why did you buy it already? If you have them off, like, why would you just like? What the hell else are you doing with it?
Trading it in for Arum mostly.
Okay. This is a point where I'd be trading my Aurum in for Moth and buying shit. This is why I never have anything. Everyone's always surprised and shocked that I'm like broke AF all the time. But it's because I don't hoard it like some kind of goddamn dwarf with dragon sickness sitting on a pile of gold.
So no, right now I'm saving up for the Sprint 6.
Ah. That is a good thing to have. I'll grant you that.
That's 1,500, and I've got like 800 something Aurum. I'm getting there.
Nice. I currently have 4,766 marks. I literally have less than 5K marks.
I was gonna say that's
nothing. It's literally nothing. I can't afford the Dark Agartha challenge cost tomorrow unless I do the challenges to generate them off to pay for the 10K to do the challenge run.
So you could run in how many do you get from like a usual Kaiden run?
How much what? Moth?
Oh no, that wouldn't get you Moth. Right? No, I'm sorry. I get you Anima Shards. Yeah, different thing. Never mind.
Oh, Anima Shards. I have 8.2 million.
You're like, I can't get rid of those.
Yeah, no. My museum has been done for like a couple years.
How many shards do you need to get a Anima at that point?
Well, so to finish your museum is something like 8 million shards. I basically could do the museum all over again at this point. Round 2.
Actually, no, you're not wrong. I think it's like 8.5 million.
Yeah, I'm basically at the point where I could just do the museum again. Should that ever be an option? Let's get gold pedestals in there, people. Give me something to spend my shards on.
You missed Sprint 6 sale. I did miss. Oh no, that was I was around for that. I just didn't have enough at that time.
You know what? I was just thinking though, keep an eye out for the anniversary. That'd be another time
But that might be another time it'll probably go on sale again. Yep.
So I just finished my museum.
Everything comes around on sale eventually.
Am I in danger of having too many shards? Probably. I mean, it depends what you're leveling, Zen. Like if you're still leveling like red signets or something, like those things suck shards like crazy. If you're not leveling much of anything, it's really stupid easy to accumulate shards. Like if you're green items into yellows, Zen, I put green items into reds.
I mean, you can, yeah.
I put green items into reds, and I have 8.2 million shards. I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, not all the time. I also vendor a shit ton of them. But, like, just for the 6 empowerment achievement for today, I literally put 6 greens into a red.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, fuck it.
8.4 million, that's nothing.
You put them into red because you do not have bag room. That's not true. I vendor it if I don't have room. I'm a reverse dragon. I'm a chaos dragon. I have gone the other way.
A dragon that sheds.
I literally just shit treasure. Gold everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like the goose that laid the golden egg. It's just a dragon that fucking shits gold everywhere it goes. It doesn't actually sit on it.
So much. Look at all that.
Look at all your crap. Holy shit. Like, Jesus Christ.
Every time.
So beautiful.
Every time.
Like, I'm actually running about...
Gives people eye twitches.
A little tight because I'm leveling a new alley piece. I've got some leftover cakes I haven't gotten rid of. And I have 3 distillate shifters I haven't used yet. And I still have 5 free spaces. like I should be up to 8 free spaces once I use the distillate shifters up, and theoretically 9 free spaces because those cakes will go away pretty quick. Just for reference here, I wanna let me give you this is what a like maxed out but minimalist inventory looks like.
How many side
Also,
windows?
I say minimalist, but I have dumb shit on my bank because I have all the shadow weapons and stuff. But even with that dumb shit, like I'm at base inventory.
Marie Kondo of SWL. Does this bring me joy?
That's my bank, and that's my inventory.
Yeah, in the beginning they're like, we're only giving you how many
It was
slots did you start with?
It was 25 originally.
Okay.
But that was before they added the mission item bag. And people were actually not able to complete missions because one of them in particular added like 12 items to your inventory or something.
They did that relatively quick though, because
pretty early on. But even when they had the idea for the mission item bag, they weren't going to be able to implement it right away. And they had to fix the problem of the fact that people could not progress in the game because the game like choked when it couldn't give you the mission items. It's not like you could just empty your inventory and go back. I think you were in an instance, and so like it caused like petitions and massive problems. So they upped everyone's base space to 35 instead of 25. Otherwise, I'd still be at 25. Like, I don't care. For next challenge, you go to 100 bird regional and be put into a summoning group. Zen, I've already been there and done that. I'm part of a
got the shirt.
Yeah, part of an endgame cabal. I've done regionals for like 4 hours straight as part of the summoning group with like 4 free spaces. You know, and I still wouldn't be the last person to click the heart. There still would be someone else that was being lazier.
It's taking forever to do it.
Yeah, they'd be doing whatever, but I'd be like, even to this day, like I'll sometimes go to like a lair with like 2 free spaces, and I'll have to manage the overflow bag, and
just keep picking stuff up right off the ground. It's like, all right,
yeah,
that's mine again.
And I still will be faster than someone else that's trying to summon. It's crazy. How long do those red bags last? I don't know, but I can tell you this. Don't port away. They're not going to be there when you port back.
Yeah, they don't hang around. They might stay for a long time, but right, they're not going to stay after you go away.
A ton of red bags outstanding. You can literally litter the playfield with like red overflow bags. I think.
Yeah, but don't leave though.
Yeah, don't leave. That's the thing. You can't leave. You want someone to trade you or something, and they can take shit and vendor it for you or something like that. But like, you can't. Or they should, if you have a nice friend, they'll go buy a portable vendor and bring it back, or something like that. Don't leave the instance, because I think when you leave the instance, your overflow bags will just vanish. But I'm pretty sure while you're there, they don't go anywhere. I know I've had someone that was newer with us doing a bird regional, and like this was probably like a year or more ago, but we were doing like a cabal run of like flappies in Besieged Farmland regionals, you know, for like an hour plus or something, and this guy was like just level 50, and so he had like nothing. Like he quickly ran out of shit to put it in. Like he maxed his stuff out. Couldn't afford to fuse them, and like he just had he had like I don't even know, like 30 red floating bags or something. Like he was trying desperately not to leave stuff, and somehow we're helping him out, like giving him signets, like we're trying to get it so he can make use of it all. He went up a stupid amount of IP. I think he went up like 40 item power or something while we were there. I don't remember exactly.
Not bad.
Impressive.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, you can have a lot of red bags. You crashed and you were able to log in and they were still there. Crashing is different.
Crashing is a little different, yeah.
Like when you crash, everyone else still sees you there. The server thinks you're there. It's kind of like if you crash in a dungeon, right? If you crash in a dungeon, we see you there. But if you take too long to log back in, eventually the server does realize you're not there and boots you out. So I think that would be potentially the issue.
It's a pretty long time period too.
I think, well, for on a dungeon, it's like 5 minutes maybe or something.
Like I know I've done occult defenses and crashed mid occult defense and came back in, and it's like it just continues without you. Yeah,
that will happen. But if you take too long, you load back in and end up like you're in a Gartha or whatever, right? Like it will have kicked you out. So my point is, if you log back in past the time the server has decided you're not there anymore, I think that would mean your bags are gone. I'm pretty sure. I've never tested that extensively, but I'm fairly certain that is how those things work. Once the server realizes you're gone, like I said, that can if it's from a crash, that can take like 5 minutes. So generally, the thing is log back in as quick as you can, and hope it's not Tokyo, because then you're not getting anything back.
You get nothing.
It's going to take 5 minutes to load into Tokyo.
So anyway, I think that's pretty much good for the show this week. Agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 40-ACL. You can catch us recording live every other Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live, or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. Jimmy, where can we find you on the interwebs?
I was going to say, that sounded a little personal.
Jimmy, where do you live?
So we can go visit.
In the attic above your house.
I thought that was you.
No, JimmyTheRabbit.com, Twitch.tv/JimmyTheRabbit, YouTube.com/JimmyTheRabbit, and @1JimmyTheRabbit on Twitter. And currently my guitar episodes are going up not just on Twitch, but on YouTube as well.
And 2 Ton Waffle, where can we find you?
Same thing. Twitch.tv, 2 Ton Waffle. Same thing on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay.
Just around.
Well, originally your same thing. I was like, wait, I can find you at JimmyTheRabbit.com.
You can find me right. You can find 2 Ton Waffle at JimmyTheRabbit.com
right there,
and at Jimmy the Rabbit's YouTube channel.
Wait, if I'm in Mikey's attic, you're in my attic? Like, what is going on?
Yeah,
it's just attics all the way down.
Always has been.
And I'm Ocho, and you can find me both on Twitter and here on Twitch at Big Mikey Ocho. You can get in touch with us by engaging with the show on Twitter at 0 Point Report, emailing us at the 0 Point Report at gmail.com, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. So from all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best from the secret world. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Later.